Super Smash Bros. Ultimate gave us everything we wanted. Mario Kart Ultimate, might it happen? Block content. What's happening, my Block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Block Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. I'm super happy to be talking about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and a little bit about Super Mario Kart as well as a franchise, because I really love both of these, but one thing is definitely sure. Smash Bros. Ultimate has the most content that has ever been in a Super Smash Bros. Game thus far. And even if we think about terms of, some game modes might be missing, some target tests, some stuff like home run contest, or even platforming levels in the single player, I think that some stuff will still be added later in like 5.0, 6.0, because definitely home run contest is coming. If you think about other franchises, and especially in this video, Mario Kart, it's not really happened before that we get a game that has everything. Of course, there's a new game in the series coming as of the moment of recording, that is Mario Kart Tour, which is a mobile game that already has a lot of characters in it confirmed, but still a lot of question marks in terms of stages and overall content of the game, and of course, every single character. Now, I know that these companies, and especially these franchises, are different inherently, and of course Sakurai and the whole team at Sora basically view Smash Brothers a whole lot different than they do normal games, right? I mean, the Pokemon franchise has been under fire, Game Freak especially, because of the cut content from the game Pokemon Sword and Shield, right? There's no national dex anymore, so you can't get every single Pokemon in the new game. They won't even work there. They won't even be transportable from other franchises of the game. So, to me, that raises a point here. Mario Kart. Is that the same franchise as, say, that they handle it with Pokemon, where it's like, we don't really want to give you everything you want because we're gonna have to make a sequel eventually, and with Pokemon, it's like annually or biannually, so that's gonna be a very big problem, right? The team behind Game Freak, they really want to make every game in the series distinct. They don't really want to give you everything because then they'll have blown everything and you basically already have the perfect Pokemon game. What if Pokemon was like Breath of the Wild and you could walk around and like ride Gyarados through the oceans and encounter Pokemon and it'd be multiplayer? That's what everybody kind of wants, right? And in this idea, I really want to talk about what it would be like for Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart as a franchise to have something similar to what Ultimate has right now. And to me, it's something that I've wanted for a very long time. And also, that's something that the fans have wanted for the longest time too. So we're gonna take a look at it, and for those of you guys who like giveaways, we are giving away a Piranha Plant plushie right there in a warp pipe, super cute, and you can even puppeteer it. Remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel right now, and comment down below why you should be the one to give this plant boy a home to enter for the giveaway at 50K. Alright guys, let's head right on into Mario Kart Ultimate. So this idea has popped up on a couple of you guys' feeds, and actually you guys sent me this to talk about. So very happily I'll indulge because Mario Kart is one of my favorite franchises in gaming. Especially my favorite game in the series was Mario Kart Double Dash. It's a game that kind of revolutionized the kart racer in a lot of ways, and it had that really great mechanic where there's two people on a kart, that's double dash for you. So one person was in charge of, hitting players or throwing the items, and you could even have two items and like throw them behind. There was even a co-op mode where there's one person driving and one person doing the items, or you could, do both of them, and it was a whole thing, and it was really incredible, and it had a lot of charm, and nobody has quite done it like that since, even Mario Kart after this, because after Double Dash, a lot of games came out and none of them really did that same trick. So if there was a super, Smash Bros. Ultimate like addition for Mario Kart that was happening, maybe it could be happening for Switch, because I definitely feel Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a great game that's packed with a lot of content, but it is, of course, a Wii U port. And to that I say, we need our new Mario Kart game for Switch. customly built for Switch, and it could of course run on the same engine as Mario Kart 8, but it needs an overhaul in a lot of departments. It needs a lot more content, and I think the way that you can do it is definitely with an Ultimate idea. And of course, it wouldn't be called Mario Kart Ultimate, but it would definitely pack a lot more content. There's two ways you can go about this, and one would almost be a different franchise, and one would be something that I think the fans would be very, very eager to see. So, on one side of the spectrum, you could definitely do a Super Smash Bros. Kart game, right? It would be like Nintendo All-Stars Kart. So, you wouldn't only have Mario and Donkey Kong, and of course Link guested in Mario Kart as well, but you would also have characters like Samus, or the Pokemon characters Pikachu and Jigglypuff. You might even be getting characters from Fire Emblem, or of course characters from Star Fox that make a lot of sense. I could definitely see a whole lot more from Wario, especially the microgame series coming in, so WarioWare, and we might even bring in third-party stuff like Sonic. I don't think Snake would be a possibility, but Mega Man I definitely see happening in there. Pac-Man, of course, already happened in the arcade games for Mario Kart, so he would for sure make a return. And Splatoon has already happened. Animal Crossing has already happened. I could definitely see Kirby riding a Warp Star right there. And the interesting part to me would be that everything would be franchise appropriate with this game. So Mario would of course be riding a kart because that's like the originator, but Donkey Kong could be having a rhino or the barrel blast stuff, which a lot of people still really like. And I think for Yoshi, it could maybe even be a transformation. So if this would be a new franchise and not necessarily be Mario Kart, but with Smash characters, but it would be an entire new evolution. It would have a different acceleration, scheme. It would even, do away with some of the conventions of the Mario Kart franchise and maybe change stuff around like Kirby Air Ride did. I could see Samus definitely in her airship. I could see Kirby riding a Warp Star or the Dragoon, and characters like Ice Climbers that I don't know they would put in the game, but would probably happen if it was a spin-off made by Sora or Sakurai. Then they could even have the Albatross that they're flying on. And Bowser, of course, could have the Koopa Clown Car. The different Pokemon could ride other Pokemon. They could even be on the back of Charizard if you want to even go it that way. Or there could be a trainer riding a bike that has the Pokemon on his hat or on the back seat or something like that. There's a lot of great stuff that you can also do with Link, not just the motorcycle that we often see, but you could even do Epona, so the horse as a character. I could see Pit or Meta Knight fly, and that was the really cool thing about Kirby Air Ride. If you controlled Meta Knight in that game, he wouldn't be riding on any vehicle, he would just be flying through the stage, and that was the coolest thing ever. So think about Sonic appearing in a Mario Kart game, not in a kart, but just running along the track. And of course, there'd be the issue of like balance. Sonic would have been way faster, he's way faster in his own games. Well, maybe there are some speed rules in this game, like there are on the actual road, and that Sonic really has to keep it in a little bit. I could also see Rob returning to the fray, because Rob, of course, is a character that has already been in a Mario Kart game, the Mario Kart DS game. He had his own little configuration there, and characters from the Mega Man franchise. I think Mega Man could definitely be on Rush. There's a version of Rush where he's on it, and it's like a jet fuel thing. I would really love that. Some of the Fire Emblem characters I think could ride horses. That would be really cool. And if we think in terms of Duck Hunt Duo, I think that the duck could maybe even fly the dog somewhere. That would be super fun. And in terms of Street Fighter, that'd be like the car that they beat up in the single player mode, right? That'd be a really cool thing, like just cruising along. And in terms of Cloud, he has a motorcycle. I think that would be super awesome. Having Ridley in there from Super Smash Bros. And Metroid fame, flying along the stage would be super awesome, because we know Ridley can fly really, really fast in the games. Well, throw in the Inkling, throw in Isabelle from the Animal Crossing games, and maybe some other stuff from Nintendo franchises that don't really happen in these big crossovers that you don't see. A Chibi Robo could be really fun in here, and of course Pikmin and Olimar, although they are in Smash, I think they could happen here like they do in the Subspace Emissary, which is riding their spaceship as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do for this franchise. I didn't even mention how cool it would be to have Captain Falcon appear in the Blue Falcon, which would be really awesome. And of course, there was some crossover there with Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. I think that would be a really interesting new way. And if there was to be a new Smash Brothers game and they decided, yeah, it's a racing game now, or this is a spin-off or whatever, I think fans will actually be really happy to have a game like that, because it could be super special to have Sakurai work on something like Kirby Air Ride, but it was a little bit more like a Mario Kart traditional game, and he had access to all these characters. I think that if it wasn't a fighting game, Nintendo would be even more playing ball, because it would be less, violent, and of course they have some trouble with leaning their characters towards some hyper violence, especially the Mario characters, the Yoshi characters. Now that they're in a game with Joker, who uses guns, and Snake, who uses explosives, I could see them very much being behind a game where it's just fun and racing and colorful worlds, not to mention all the crazy courses that we could see. So of course, we drove around the Mute City, the Big Blue, but of course also we went through the Animal Crossing world and Hyrule, and you could only imagine what crazy realms we could see if there was a Super Smash Kart game. Now, the other part that it could go is a Mario Kart game with guest characters, right? So more guest characters. I already think that it's very safe to say we'll get stuff like Link returning and like the Animal Crosser returning, but to me, the exciting part here would be if we get our characters back from previous games. So just to go over every single character that's ever appeared in a Mario Kart game, this is really interesting because it's never happened that every single character was in one game. And of course, it's never happened that every single stage was in one game. Because of course, a lot of stages you have to remake. There's a lot of Super Mario Kart stages that aren't really all that interesting if you translate it to a new world. And I think the same goes with Mario Kart Super Circuit. Even though I did have a lovely time with that Game Boy Advance game, there are a couple of stages in that game that aren't really all that interesting, and I really want to look towards games like Mario Kart 7, having those kinds of tracks evolve to an HD world, or the Mario Kart Wii tracks, DS, Mario Kart Double Dash, and 64. Those are really interesting. So if you just think about a world where every single Mushroom Cup stage, every Flower Cup, every Star Cup, every Special Cup, and of course that already includes the retro stages, and some games even have something like a Lightning Cup. Well, they could all appear in one game. I think that'd be super interesting to see, and that is something that a lot of fans would definitely subscribe to. As far as the characters goes, every single character so far in Mario Kart, if they just have those appear, I think it'll have a lot of fans. So it goes as far through the baby characters: Baby Daisy, Luigi, Mario, Peach, and Rosalina, Birdo, Bowser, Bowser Jr., Cat Peach, Daisy, Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., which only appeared in the first Mario Kart game, Super Mario Kart. Then we have Dry Bones, Dry Bowser, Funky Kong, Gold Mario, Honey Queen, which actually only appeared in, I believe it's Mario Kart 7, right? So that to me would be a really interesting pick to see happen again in HD. Then we have Iggy, Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl, Isabelle, King Boo, Koopa Troopa, Lakitu, Larry, Lemmy, Link, and of course the new champion Link, Ludwig, Luigi, Mario, Metal Mario, the Mii character of course, Morton, Paratroopa, which has actually only appeared in Double Dash, which is crazy to me because Paratroopa is such a cool character, has a slightly different voice to him as well from the other Koopa Troopa, which was always the character that I picked to be a part of my team. There's Peach, Petey Piranha, who has only appeared in Mario Kart Double Dash as well. There's Pink Gold Peach, Rob, Rosalina, Roy, Shy Guy, Tanuki Mario, Toad, Toadette, the Villager Boy and the Villager Girl, Waluigi, Wario, Wendy, Wiggler, which I think has only appeared in Mario Kart 7, if I'm correct, and Yoshi. So to me, that's super interesting because all those characters appearing in one game together has never happened before. And of course, a huge roster for Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, it's amazing, but it's still missing a lot of characters that people have wanted for years and years and years. I don't think Birdo was even in that game, so that's really strange, and you guys gotta hit me up. Is Diddy Kong in that game too? Maybe it was like downloadable content, but it's still weird not to see him, right? So there's two ways that they can go, right? A brand new Sora developed Super Smash Brothers Kart type of game, which I think ultimately they will do in a bit of time, right? It's just too good to be true. It will, be a very good incentive if they end up not doing the same, idea of Smash Brothers, if it's not a 2.5D fighter, but they want to do something else. I think a Kirby Air Ride thing would be really cool, where you could even get out of your cart and kind of roam around freely. That'd be super cool, because Air Ride was, I think, the only kart game that really did that well. The city trial mode was incredible, and I want to talk about that very soon. But also just the idea of having an ultimate Mario Kart game that doesn't have all the outside characters that we love from third parties or from Nintendo's first parties, but has every single stage and every single character that we've had in Mario Kart. So I'm really curious, what are you guys' favorite characters or courses in the game? Let me know in the comments down below. I love reading through them all, so let me know as soon as you can. So I'll be reading through all your comments, and if your comment gets picked for the comment question of today, I will get to read it live on the show. Today's comment question is, do you want a Smash Kart or do you want the ultimate Mario Kart game? As for our previous comment question, our answer comes to us from Dippin' Dots, and it's about the Earthbound newcomer that supposedly is coming to Smash Bros. Ultimate. Didn't Sakurai say that he wanted to add more series to the game? This is death fake. Unless we get another fighters pack with first parties, then I won't believe this at all. Also, Gygas does have a form. Its original form is an alien cat creature similar to Mewtwo, coming from Mother, aka Earthbound Beginnings. He only takes the Earthbound form after wanting to take revenge, but he gets consumed by evil and basically makes all the creatures in Earthbound evil. Well, Dippin' Dots, thank you so much. I almost did a pirate accent. I really don't know why I choose these different voices for people. It's just something fun. So yeah, I think the idea here is that it would be really cool to have Gygas appear in a cutscene or as a boss. I don't think that it will materialize as a character. I think Porky makes a lot more sense in those terms. Also, Porky was a boss in the Subspace Emissary. Don't know why he didn't return for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but maybe there was a reason, and maybe the reason is some sort of boss rush mode. So that's my 2 cents on that whole deal, and thank you so much for commenting, and everybody to comment, send them in. These are always a ton of fun to read and to go through. And of course, a huge shout out to our latest Patreon supporters. You guys make blocked content as a channel absolutely possible. I get to talk to you guys every single day about the games that we all love and theorize about things that could be or things that should be. And if you want to have yourself created in our blocked content style, or even talk to me live, or have your own video idea become an actual video on our channel, just go to patreon.com/blockedcontent, because there's a bunch of incredible rewards and they're there waiting just for you. Remember, if you're not yet a member of the blocked content family, hit that subscribe button, and if you've already subscribed, also hit that bell for notifications. So every time we make a video like this, or a League Speak video about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, maybe a Battle Quotes or a Snake Codec where there's a new one that I'm writing at this moment, you will get it at the exact moment that it launches. All the news and fun you care about will be delivered daily to you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more blocked content. See ya!